Hey everybody, just got home from work. Wrote a bunch of stuff down while I ate, some talking points, and I would like to go over them. This is my first episode of the Simply Divine podcast since zero point 0.4 dropped, so, um, yeah. Um, the, the reality is right now for my channel is that I work at UPS, so the December League is always going to be the most difficult for me to make content for. It's going to be that way for as long as I work there. So, um, I'm honestly in the camp where I hope they delay the game to 2027, like the full release, because whatever big major patch they released, it's like the full release of PoE2. If it comes out the final patch of next year, that's gonna land in December, it's gonna make it really hard to like fully cover all of that. But anyway, yeah, this is just going to be a solo episode, and I'm going to try and keep it relatively short. So let's go over some of the thoughts of the league. I'm just going to talk about my opening thoughts on the patch and how it's landed for me. I'm also going to discuss the general community sentiment and whether or not I agree or disagree with some of the points they've been making. Um, so let's just get right into it. Earlier today, I watched Talkative Try's new episode of the Still Sane podcast featuring Lex D. Lex basically says he can feel the issues of the league in Act 4 and tries like, wow, it's pretty early. Um, I feel like where I am just starting Act 3, I already felt a few pain points. Having to complete 6 zones and search high and low in these massive campaign zones to find the summoning circle to get the one drop as a reward for each one. I don't know what they're called. I just call them the summoning circle. To get the one drop, it's like a one currency usually that you get after you kill all the mobs in the circle. Um, and then whenever I complete 6, I can run a Vol Temple, which has basically really low rewards and drops in it, and you have to pray to Lord Rogers above that you get the RNG to get a room to tier 3 because the rooms that you get are RNG. It's nothing is guaranteed. And you need specific rooms to upgrade other specific rooms to do other things, and you have to put them all in specific places around each other. So, um, yeah, I mean it's a lot. Um, but yeah, when I did run it, it took less than a minute because I had so few rooms and the monsters were insanely easy. I've run it I think 3 times now, two maybe 3 times now, and then I've run my friend's twice or 2 or 3 times on his Vault Temple, because we're doing. Um, yeah, but it takes like less than a minute to clear because you have such little rooms and the monsters were so insanely easy. I even got lucky enough to make a good tier 3 room in my second temple, and the boss got crushed very quick, and didn't really give anything memorable. Like, I can't honestly list a single. I don't even think I got an exalt off of him. It's just it overall just very disappointing. The whole 5 steps forward and 3 steps back mechanic with like placing the rooms and stuff is also quite frustrating. It makes building the temper super slow. How it deletes a few rooms every time you complete it. If it just deleted less rooms, honestly, that would be better. Because it would be less of a time investment to build up your temple, which a lot of people, even in the end game, are complaining about. Um, yeah, there's also a hilarious Zizzering clip going around right now where he beats like the mini boss. I can't remember his name. Um, and every single one of his rooms just delete. Um, yeah, deleted every single room in his temple, sending him back to square one. So, real quick, I'm just gonna bring that up just because I think it's hilarious.
Have done it. We now have full
We're
access.
gonna watch this.
Mounting grade.
Oh goodness.
Bad.
It says what your name is? Yeah, I left them up.
Oh, ability of cleansing is kind of sick.
Up from there.
Just look at his face. Oh my god.
I need to go for a walk.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah. So knowing that like that's what I have to look forward to playing this mechanic more, wow. Boy is that exciting. Um yeah, it's just I haven't had a ton of time to play the game. That's why I'm still at the start of Act 3, 4 days into the league. Um Last league whenever it launched kind of in the summer, right? In August, there would be like maybe I'd have like a day or two off each week. Or like at least 2 days off usually. Um, Now I get 1 day off and I have to like, I'm very busy that day because I work 6 days straight. Usually like 60, could even go to 70 hours worth with my schedule. So it's rough. Anyway, let's get back on topic. Yeah, yeah, that was just hilarious. The temple looks visually like really good and like just doing it, the mobs look good, everything looks good, right? It that's never been PoE2's problem. Um, but it just has a way to go, and it has the bones of a fun mechanic, but it has a way to go, and it's going to eat up even more dev time to fix these many issues. I'm sure if there was a vote right now, the mass majority of players would say this should definitely not go core. All I can say is that Abyss was immediately rewarding, extremely exciting, quite challenging at times, and I could go on and on gushing about Abyss. It definitely makes me feel like they just did a if they just did a run back of Abyss League and used the resources they spent making Fate of the Vol on overhauling the end game and actually getting that out instead of delaying it, or getting Act 5 ready, or giving us the third Druid Ascendancy instead of just only having two ready. I would have vastly preferred that. A big discussion in the community right now is whether or not it's correct to even be spending dev time on really big, really complex league mechanics before the game has even technically launched. Especially if it's gonna land like this, I'd say no, 100%. I'd be overjoyed right now to rerunning Abyss League as a druid with a finished endgame overhaul that wasn't delayed and actually made it into the patch to look forward to in the end game after the campaign and everything. Um, I would absolutely love to do that. I would much prefer, honestly, to be doing that right now than with the current league mechanic. It's Abyss is going to be hard to top, but this honestly doesn't even like make it close the way it currently feels right now. Um, yeah, I'm not far enough into the league to be giving my solution to all the problems that Temple has right now. But the first off, I would hope I would think reducing the number of circles it takes to run a temple from 6 to 4 at least. Like you run 4 maps and you get rooms for a temple. Um, I just feel like I'm barely interacting with the mechanic. Like whereas like I said last league, there was a full on abyss in every map, dropping tons of goodies. There were tons of monsters to fight, and there was like a sweet spot of the amount of mechanics, and it's just really good. It was just really good. Right off the bat, it was really good. There were problems with Abyss, right? Of course, it had problems. It's going to have problems, but the good so heavily outweighed the bad, no matter how many problems it ever had. And as the like mini patches went on, and as they patched the game more and more, the downsides of Abyss, like the bad parts of it, started like disappearing more and more, which only made it better and better. Yeah, I mean it 10 out of 10 league. It's going to be hard to top, but this it's like this mechanic doesn't even try. I mean, I'm sure they tried. I'm sure they tried, but it's so not great, in my opinion, right now yet, and in a lot of the community's opinion as well. So, anyways, onto my druid thoughts. I'm currently a shaman wyvern enjoyer, trying to make his way to a build revolving either around the flame breath or the lightning breath. I can definitely say I know what the devs meant, but when they said the druid animations, oh wait, and fluidity was their biggest challenge. Sometimes my character in Wyvern form moves in a way that just seems very odd. I'm not sure how to describe it. And sometimes that leads into me getting like stuck in walls. It's it's very confusing. I'm not exactly sure what triggers it, but yeah. It I have to use the wing blast dash backwards to like get out of it. Um it's not an issue that's extremely pressing. I'm sure they'll probably fix that in a small patch very soon. I haven't played since last night when they released that other they released like a small patch. Um well, I say small patch, but it had tons of bug fixes. I think Bear got nerfed, people said. A few things. It actually was a pretty sizable patch. It might be fixed already in game right now. It's just this is the last time that I played, which was 2 days ago. I just didn't really have the time last night. Um, Plus, being it, I have a duo character. I don't really play multiple characters a league. I play one character a shitload, and that's where all of my playtime, no matter how much playtime I have, all my playtime goes to one character. But it's a duo character, and we both have jobs, and we're both getting our asses kicked by our jobs right now. So, it is what it is. Um, yeah, other than that, I've been having an insanely fun time. I found a low level unique ice gloves that I'm going to give to my friend, Matrona, who's been on, featured in the channel multiple times. Um, the next time he logs in, who's playing Wolf and duoing with me, I'm actually super interested in Dead Rabbit's Water the Plants build that he's got going with the vines. I'm thinking about either I do that for next league or I do a pivot from where I am right now. It'd be a really small pivot because, I'm not very far in. Um, so I'm honestly thinking about it because watching his episode of the Still Sane podcast with Talkative Try, and then actually looking at his build, I was like, oh my god, man, this looks more fun. Like it sounded fun whenever Jonathan Rogers was like talking about it and like showing it, um, but in like the reveal for 0.4, but just seeing it in like full on action in a guide, like that was really interesting, and it looks very very fun. I really want to do it, so it's just a matter of when, not if, but I will be doing that build. um yeah, it's a crazy good, super fun looking caster oracle druid build. I want to try it. Rolling magma, that was going to be the end of the podcast, but then the end of this episode, but then I like added an extra bit on the end because I thought about it while I was in the kitchen earlier. Rolling magma feels kind of booty because you can't hit things melee to you. Like it has a minimum range. There were a few funny Darth microtransaction clips of him just wing flapping and wing flapping and like doing the backwards dash like over and over again to get away from the super fast melee mob that was on him because he literally couldn't hit it with rolling magma and he was trying to kill things with rolling magma. Um, I just thought that was funny. It is annoying when you're actually playing it. The clip was funny. I don't have that clip on hand like I did the Zizaran one. I prepared the Zizaran one. I did not prepare the Darth microtransaction one. I think he posted it on his X though, or his Twitter. So if you want to check that out, it'd be there. Um, yeah. Wow, really short episode. When I was writing this, I was like, I have a lot of thoughts. But honestly, it kind of blasted through this. Sorry for all the complaining this episode. It's just the way it goes when I feel like we came off the most fun PoE2, including PoE1, like all the leagues I played in PoE1. Last league it's probably the most fun I have had playing any of any league from either of the two PoE games so far. It was tons of fun. I played it longer too, definitely, than the other leagues. Um, yeah, I was having an absolute blast. I loved being there for Abyss launch because I never got to play Abyss launch in PoE1, and it's my favorite PoE1 mechanic. It was the big thing last league, so that was really fun. Uh yeah, and comparing it to the hot mess that we have right now with Vol Temple, it's not looking good for Vol Temple right now. Like I said earlier, a lot of changes are going to need to be made for people to like that mechanic, and that's going to eat up even more dev time. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm in the camp where we just rerun Abyss League until launch because it was so good, and we just focus on getting all the acts, all the ascendancies, as many classes as we can, um, all the weapons, and just try and complete the game, and get it ready for that launch that's supposed to happen next year, because they have a lot to do before a full launch. So yeah, I appreciate all of you for watching this video. If you did, yeah, this is my thoughts and reviews of patch 0.4 so far. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Next podcast will definitely be faster. I thought this one was I meant I meant be longer. I thought this one was gonna take a long time. I basically can't even call this a podcast episode at this point. Like, it's just a video, but the layout is already up. Okay, so I'm gonna have to call it podcast. Tune in for episode 4. I don't have an idea of when yet, but it's probably going to feature Matrona, and I'm probably going to wait until we hit endgame and we're doing some endgame stuff. But I mean, the reality is, right, it's going to be a lot of the same talks as last league because they didn't get around to the endgame overall. What are we doing? Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. See ya. Subscribe.